Welcome to the Sports Post Podcast. This is Jag Mangat for April 23rd, 2021. And we got a couple of things we want to talk about in the NBA tonight, NHL tonight. I know I don't talk about NFL as much. And it's not like I have anything against NFL. I just don't know that much. But I will go over tonight on the podcast the Chiefs and them trading their first round pick. For who? You got to pay attention to the podcast tonight to find out. Or you can just Google one of the two. So check this out. In the NBA, no, let's start with the NHL tonight. I know Vegas Golden Knights secured a playoff spot yesterday, but also the Colorado Avalanche secured a playoff spot last night. Carolina still in the second spot, and Florida still in the. Actually, right now it's the fourth because Colorado secured that top spot. So Carolina, Florida, they're still up for grabs. Tonight we have Boston Bruins taking on Buffalo Sabres once again. Canadians taking on the Calgary Flames. In the NBA tonight we have I have the Jump on pre-recorded. They're talking about Anthony Davis and his return last night. As expected, I got excited last night because he was back, but went 2 for 10. 2 for 10. And I guess that's kind of expected. You're missing 2 months and 30 games, they said. He missed 30 games, and he went 2 for 10 on the field. They lost last night by 5 points, but I was kind of disappointed. But at the end of the day, I thought to myself, well, this is expected because he's coming back. He's got a lot of rust, and it clearly showed last night. I just think that Marc Gasol would benefit, or the Lakers would benefit from having Marc Gasol in the stand, in like in the roster, in the rotation kind of thing. But they have to find some sort of placement for him. So they should be able to bounce back. I think they play Mavericks again tomorrow night, and they should be able to fortify a win, hopefully. Talk about some other notable games tonight. We have the Nets taking on the Celtics. Now, the Nets are eyeing a KD return for this Saturday. Kemba Walker is kind of sidelined with injury, but I think what they're doing right now is they got like 15, 16 average 16, 17 games for left that are on the season for every single team. Now, you have players that want to rest, and rightfully so. I just think tonight's game, it's Kyrie Irving taking on his former team, but without James Harden, without Kevin Durant. So this should be a win for the Celtics. The Heat taking on the Hawks. Now the Hawks are without Trae Young, and the Heat are not very offensive like last year. But then again, I think they're saving it for the playoffs because you got to think to yourself, Eric Spoelstra is one hell of a coach, and he knows how to get the job done. So Jimmy Butler will actually lead the charge in the playoffs. But right now, I think fatigue is getting to them, and they need the rest. Because, like I said, they went all the way to the playoffs last night, or not last night, but they went all the way to the finals last year and lost. So, and they only had like 70 days rest, which is clearly not enough. Clearly not enough rest. So look for them to start resting their guys. I know Jimmy Butler, his character will not rest, and that's understandable. But if you want to make a big push to the playoffs and to the finals, you should rest because you got teams like the Nets, the Bucks, staring down at you, the 76ers. Speaking of the Bucks, now I was watching the Inside the NBA, and Charles Barkley said that he expects the Bucks to make it to the finals. Now, um, if anyone knows Charles Barkley, his guarantees are the exact opposite. Now, um, I just don't think the Bucks are gonna win or get to the finals. I knew they weren't gonna get to the finals, but Charles Barkley, when he said they're not gonna get to the finals, when he said they're gonna get to the finals, that pretty much solidified it to me that the Bucks will not make it to the finals because he's like George Costanza in a way. The exact opposite happens, so it's just you can't take his word for it. Um, so it is what it is. You have a bunch of teams and that are willing and ready to feed into the actual the playoff the hunt right now, and don't sleep on Phoenix. Now Phoenix is phenomenal. Um, they are way better than last year, way better than last year, and now they got Chris Paul. So yeah, it's basically do or die for the Phoenix Suns. I think they're gonna go like all the way to. They're gonna pass the first round. That's guaranteed. I don't know who they're playing. I think it's the Grizzlies or the Spurs or something. They'll make it to the first round for sure, and they'll beat whoever they have to beat. But um, second round, it's gonna be Phoenix versus LA Clippers, and that's gonna be a tough matchup. You have Chris Paul versus Rajon Rondo. Now that should be an interesting matchup. Both of them hate each other, and we'll see what happens. Also, on the east side, do not sleep on the Washington Wizards. I know what you're saying. You're saying like Washington's not even in the playoff hunt. That's where you're wrong. According to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th spot, they're going to feed into a tournament. And I don't know how the exact thing happens and how it goes, but apparently whoever wins that gets into the last two spots. Washington is killing it this year. Like not this year, but like if you recall, they went 0 and 10. Now they went 0 and 10, but after that they just killed it because they found their chemistry. They found how to win properly. So look for Washington to get the 8th seed or the 7th seed. If they do that, they'll make it to the final. Or no, sorry, they won't make it to the finals, but they will make it to the second round. I if they play the 76ers, um, I don't know. I I think they'll lose against the 76ers if the playoffs were happen today. But if they played the Brooklyn Nets, I cannot recall, but I'm pretty sure that the Brooklyn Nets have gotten beat by Washington Wizards. I know the first round is the first round, but I don't know. It's just KD versus Russell Westbrook. Yeah, that's tough. That's actually tough because Washington's playing elite. I know what you're saying. Brooklyn, the Nets in four kind of thing. Um, I know what Dennis Schroeder said. Nets in four. I think that's ridiculous. But yeah, Washington do not sleep on Washington Wizards. Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook have found the blueprint to get this job done. So tune in tonight on the podcast and see what happens on the NBA, NHL, and the NFL trade front. This is Jag Mangat for the Sports Post podcast. It is April the 23rd, 2021.